Hello, this is John Lee from Wealth Dragons, and today I want to talk about the 8 most common regrets in life. And I'm just going to give you a few moments for people to join on. But I think it's important to cover some of these regrets in life, and because a lot of times we go through life and we kind of plod along and we just do enough to get by and we're just making a living. So I just want to cover what these 8 most common regrets are. But if you've just joined, do me a favor and just say hi and let me know where you are dialing in from. It's been a while since I've done a Facebook Live, and I just want to say hi to everybody. If you've just joined, we've got Lazzie. Just let me know where you're dialing in from. Just let me know where you're dialing in from. I'm just going to do just one more thing on here as well whilst we do this. So give me 1 second. Whilst I'm going to share this onto my other page. Brilliant. Okay, so let me start with the first one. So the first biggest, I guess, regret in life is spending too much time just worrying about stuff. So, a lot of the times we're focusing on what's happening in the future. We're not focusing on what's happening in the present. What happens is we spend a lot of energy worrying. So, for example, just pretend you've got, pretend your head is like a fuel tank, right? And imagine, we fill your head with fuel every single day, and so your fuel tank is full. Then what happens after a while? Exactly. The fuel starts to get depleted as the day goes on. If you know what I'm talking about here, give me a thumbs up. So one of the things that we got to do is, in order to stop worrying so much, we want to start focusing on what's happening right now. Because I think a lot of the time when we focus on really what's currently happening, worrying is worrying about something that's in the future. And the thing about the future is that we're worrying about something that hasn't even happened yet, right? We're worrying about something that is in the future, and so it may or may not happen. Think about all the things that you've ever worried about. If I was to ask you this, right, yes or no, I want to answer yes or no on this. Have all the things that you've ever worried about, have they materialized? Do you ever think, oh, or I wish I hadn't have done that, or I wish, this doesn't happen. And when you actually get there, you start making all this scenario in your head, and then what happens? It never actually materializes. So, number one, the biggest regret is is worrying too much. So a lot of you right now, there's lots of things happening in our lives, but we don't want to have to always be worrying about that stuff. So a 30-day challenge for you, just try to stop worrying for the next 30 days, right? We got Victor from Hungary. By the way, if you guys have just joined, say hi. Let me know where you are dialing in from. We've got Rachel from Singapore. Hi, Rachel. We've got Rimadar. How you doing? We've got Kaylee from London. We've got Colin from London. We've got Lisa from Chiswick. Awesome. Okay, so biggest regret number 2 is not showing your real feelings to the people that you love, right? There's so many stories where I hear about people's loved ones, suddenly meeting their creator, and the person didn't get a chance to say, oh, I love you, or they didn't get a chance to say, oh, I appreciate you, or all the little things. Sometimes we just take a lot of people, for granted. Am I right? Yes or no? Right? We just kind of, like, every day goes by and you just go, okay, if I call this person, the person's always going to be there. But you know what? I remember my business partner Vincent telling me that one day, he, a very close family member of his, called him one day. She left a message on his phone, and when he called back, he went to answer phone, and later he found out that she'd passed away. So right now, who in your life do you need to show some feelings to? Is it your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your wife, your husband, your spouse? I know this seems like really bizarre and it seems really obvious, but a lot of the times, we don't actually give that I guess acknowledgement. So I want you to try and test this stuff out. By the way, if you've ever experienced this before, then give me a thumbs up. We've got Tiffany that's joined. Hey Tiffany, how you doing? We've got Nalina from Kuala Lumpur. We've got Chong from Malaysia. We've got Barsha from Blackburn. Hey, I live across the M65 and my parents were there. You got Roman. I love to hear anything from you, John. Awesome. I appreciate that. So that is regret number 2. Regret number 3 is caring too much about what other people think. right? A lot of people, go through life, and we always want to, we always like, oh, like, what happens if we do this and she thinks that, or what happens if I succeed and my partner thinks this. A lot of the times we spend too much time like thinking about what other people are going to think of us, and that stops us from doing things. If you agree with that, give me a yes. If you agree with that, type in yes and hit enter. Right? So a lot of the time we've got to focus on really thinking about, not really worrying about what other people care about us, because the moment you understand that is the moment you start to be free, right? You start to go out there and start doing your own thing. And I remember when I first started in property, in entrepreneurship, one of my first my business was property investing. I was so worried about what other people were thinking about, what happens if I do this and then I succeed and my friends, like disown me and stuff, right? So, I'm sharing this message with all of you because I think one of the things that holds us back is actually caring about what other people think. And I've said this in a lot of my events. And if by the way, if you've attended any of our events, give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up if you've attended any of our events. And I've said this in my events where, it's not about, Vincent's. I used to get really annoyed at what people used to say about me. I used to see some things in the press, or people used to come to our events and then say things about us, and it used to really, bother me. And I said to Vincent, I said, this is really bothering me. Like, what do I do about it? And he said, brother, it's okay, because listen to this: tigers are not concerned of the opinion of sheep, right? So that means whatever you're doing right now, don't be afraid to do it because somebody else thinks something of you. And you know what? This somebody else could be a family member, could be your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, right? It could be somebody very close to you, and we worry about their opinion. But the thing is, when we actually make it and succeed, these people are the people that are the first to congratulate us. It's just that they don't understand. If you agree with me, give me a yes and give me a thumbs up, okay? So that is number 3, right? Number 4, one of the biggest regrets of number 4 is not actually following through on your passion. Not following through. Do you know, when I was at school, people used to say to me, oh, John, like, you're thick, or John, you're so dumb, or John, you can't even spell. And they're right, I can't spell. But you know what? I became a best-selling author. This book has sold thousands and thousands and thousands of copies all around the world, and it's touched many lives. Even though I can't spell, I try, right? Because I'm dyslexic, right? So I find it very difficult to spell. And that was always been one of my passions, is to really add value to people's lives and really try and make a difference. Anytime I make a difference, my rule is, like, when I meet people and I see people face to face, I'll always try and add more value to that person's life rather than to leave that person without any value at all, right? If you agree with those principles, type in yes and hit enter. All right? So, and if I was to ask you right now, right? Because again, this is live. We're live on Facebook right now. So, what is your passion? If I was to ask you, what is your passion? What would you type in right now? So, let me hear some of yours. I know I'm telling you a lot now, but I want you to tell me. Right, so we've got Marcus, we've got Prashada, we've got Meike. Hey Meike, how you doing? We've got Tezel Rana, we've got Andre. Hey Andre, we've got Julia. I want to hear what some of your things. I've got Taz. Hey John, nice to see you live. Thank you, keep it up. So Martina is dance. Annie is flowers, my passion. We've got JD is fashion. We got Sharkis. We got Tristan is coffee is my passion. Okay, what else? What else? What else are you passionate about? Italian language, Julia. That's great. Jenna, music. Right. Who else? Like, what other passions do you have? Nalina, writing. Right. So these are all things that you're passionate about. Right. Being able to help others, Marcus. Roman, I want to be a businessman. Right. Lou Diego, music, right? Bashar, fitness and wellness. So these are all things making people's lives better, right? So a lot of you've got so many different passions, but the problem is Meike, helping people become more confident. That's fantastic. These are all things that I always want you to follow, right? I don't want you to get to your deathbed and then look back at your life and go, you know what? I regret not doing that. Do you know that when people reach their deathbed, it's not the things that they did that they regret. It's the things that they didn't do is the things that they regret. So I want you to right now, whatever you've typed in the passion, I want you to follow through on that. Problem is, a lot of people that do things they don't like, but imagine if the things that you're passionate about, that you actually start a business around that and you start making a difference to people's lives. That is true fulfillment, right? We've got to get fulfilled on that. That is the whole reason why we exist. It's not just to exist on earth, but to live on earth, right? So that is the most common regret, number 4. Would you like to know what number 5 is? If you'd like to know what number 5 is, type in 5 and give me a high five. Awesome. Good. Okay. So number 5 is not fully living in the present, right? It's not fully living in the present. And I'm guilty of this as well. And unfortunately, technology has created this environment where, everybody is on their phones, people are not really connecting with each other. What happened to the days when we just sit down and we just have a conversation, right? Those days, or just sitting down and really writing a meaningful letter to somebody, right? Just really living the present. I was sat with my PA in the car a couple of days ago, and she asked me, said, John, what do you do in your spare time? And I told her what I did. And I said to her, Nina, what do you do in your spare time? And you know what she said to me? She said, John, I just sit there and listen to music. And I'm like, what? You just sit there? You don't have anything? No, I just sit there and it's my own time and I listen to music. So here's one little tip that I have for you. If all you do is every single morning take an hour or maybe half an hour just for you and to be in the present. And one way you can do that, I have a student out in Singapore. Her name is Danica. And she focuses on the power of mindfulness, and where if we just, and here's a little tip she taught me today, and that is that if you focus on your breathing, like, everyone do this with me? I got a big blocked nose at the moment, so you just focus on your breath, right? And that will put you into the present moment. I know it sounds a bit fluffy, but you can give this a try. So, but a lot of times one of the biggest regrets is not really living in the moment. Like, for now, like my wife and I, and a lot of you have met Jen, we have a rule, like sometimes when we go out, it's like, okay, no phone day. So we'll leave our phones at home, so we stay present. The problem is when you take your phone with you, you're just so tempted and you take your phone and you put it upside down on the table. I know. Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about, or type in yes if you know what I'm talking about here, right? So, you want to set some limits and some rules. When you can set some limits and some rules, then you're able to just really focus and really be and live in the present. So that is biggest common regret number 5. Would you like to hear number 6? If you'd like to hear biggest regret number 6, then type in 6 below. Type in number 6 below. Trisha's giving me a yes with a smiley face and tears. Julia's giving me a smiley face, because you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Number 6, the biggest regret number 6 is not being able to travel enough. Right? Not being able to travel enough. I'm very fortunate with my line of work and with my passion that I follow. I get to travel all around the world, and I get to travel almost every week, if not every month, to a different country around the world. And a lot of you have actually followed me, and I've had the pleasure, and I've been very blessed to meet a lot of you along my journey. So, what's one place you guys want to travel to right now? So do me a favor and type this in. Where do you guys want to travel to? Do you if there's one place right now, if you could pick up your suitcase and you could jump in a car and you can go to the airport, where's one place that you would travel to right now? What's one place? Type it in for me. All right. Chris says, what's that? Kashin. What's one place you would travel to? Or it could be a place that you've always wanted to travel to. So Norlina says London, because I know you're out in the Middle East. Ramon is in the Swiss. Frank says Antarctica, right? Where else? Where else, you guys? Lisa Marie says Rio. Rio, I'd love to go there, by the way. Eleni says Hawaii. Taz says, I'm not sure I've been to every country that I wish to have. Okay, think of somewhere. Martina, Dubai. Kelly, South America. Okay, what else? Who else? Come on, type it in. I'm going to give you guys a shout out. Barsha, Hawaii. Okay, great. So here's what I want you to do. The question I want to ask you is this, is why have you not traveled to these places yet? why have you not traveled to these places? Right? For example, my wife loves to travel, and she always mentions these brand new places. Like, for example, last year I went to Korea. I didn't even want to go to Korea. But it was, I tell you, she took me there, and it was one of the best trips ever. We went to Seoul, we went to Busan, we went to Jeju Island, and these are just amazing places, and places I would never even travel. So I want you to, this year, right, I want you to give yourself a goal. I want you to pick 4 places. So Jenny says Venice, and another says, okay, financial constraints. But here's the thing, right? It doesn't cost that much to travel, actually. There's so many different, there's really cheap ways to travel, or there's really good ways to get like cheap flights. You know, it's not always, you know, a financial constraint. And I know, because you can get a flight to Venice for like 50 quid, you know. A lot of us spend more of that on Starbucks. You know, if you buy Starbucks every day, that's £5 every day, right? Let's do a calculation. £5 times 365, that's £1,825, you know? So there's always different ways around it. So just, I want you to pick 4 places, and I want you to put a date into the calendar. Even if you go for like 2 or 3 days. I know some of you don't have many holidays, but put it on like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Take the Friday off and just learn to travel. Now here's why it's so important, because when you travel more, you experience more, you get to see different cultures. And you know, all the best ideas that I've ever created, like the businesses that have made multiple 7 figures, all come from 35,000 feet in the air. I mean, I'm in the air and I'm thinking about this stuff. When you get out of your environment, it allows you to think clearer. If you agree with me, type in yes. If you agree with me, type in yes. Okay? So that is regret number 5. Now, regret number 6. Regret number 7. Oh, this is a big one. If I tell you this, a lot of you are like, oh my God, John, I can so relate to that. If you want to know regret number 7, type in 7 for me, please. If you like to, and by the way, do me a favor, if you're loving this, give me some love hearts as well, so we can see some love hearts coming across the screen. That'd be awesome. And do me a favor and share this as well. If you're finding this useful and you know that other people could really benefit from this, then do me a favor and share this post with other people. And just at the bottom of your phone, you can just click the share button, and then the share will share with your friends, so they can really learn from this as well. Okay, let's go to it, because number 7 is like really, really important. If I hadn't have done this, I wouldn't have been able to succeed to get to where I am right now. Right, so I'm going to give you number 7. So, but before we do that, just do me a favor and share this, so I can share this with more people and have them also learn from this as well. All right, so biggest regret number 7, right, is not daring to take risks. Not daring to take risks. I'm going to read you a chapter from my book, and I know a lot of you have read this book already. So if you have this book, turn to page 167, and the chapter that you want to read is this one here. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see this. Take risks, right? So maybe you want to take a screen grab of that. Take risks. All right. So I'm going to read this out to you. The reason why people don't take risks is because they're scared of what's going to happen. Like, for example, one of the first properties I bought, I've told you a lot of this story actually. I bought my first property for 85,000 and I sold it for 185,000. So I made 100 grand, you know, and after costs, it was a little bit less than that. But that was a seed capital that started me off in my journey of entrepreneurship. So I'm going to read this chapter out to you because I think you'll appreciate this, okay? So, principle number 8, take risks, right? By risks, we do not mean gamble. Taking all your money and putting it on black on the roulette is not taking a risk, it's gambling. Taking a risk is doing the right research on a property, for example, deciding that there is a good chance that you will make profit and investing in it, even though you know there's a good chance you might fail. You've weighed up the odds and decided the chance of winning outweighs the chances of losing. And even losing doesn't mean losing everything. People think about investing in property, for example, again, and they see all the risks involved, but they do not know what is the bigger risk. Not taking that risk and doing nothing is the biggest risk that you can take. Leaving your future in the hands of your employer and simply trusting that you'll never be made redundant, assuming your pension plan will be enough to support you and retire, believing someone will help you out if you get sick and incapacitated and unable to work, these are much bigger risks than risking of acquiring assets or bringing passive income, right? What I'm also saying to you is that there's lots of opportunities that a lot of you could have taken, but you didn't take it because, you know, you thought it was a risk. Well, there's never a risk if it's calculated, right? So we got to calculate the risks. If you agree with me, type in yes. I'll tell you one thing that that really resonated with me when I first started. Now, I was always in two minds, like, shall I do this? Shall I invest in this? Or shall I take this opportunity now? And I remember once someone said to me, said, John, if you don't take risks now, you'll be forced to take risks when you're older. If you don't take risks now, you'll be forced to take risks when you're older. If you agree with that, give me a yes. Marcus says yes. Julia says yes. Ian says yes. Ayush, Julia says yes. Eleni says yes. Fantastic. Good. So that is number 7. And the last one. Okay, this is the last most common regret. And then I'm going to end on this. Okay. And this one you should definitely share. Because, again, I've seen too many people go through this and regret it. So I want you to share this, so do me a favor and share this post at the bottom, and I want to share this with you. Okay, this is biggest regret number 8, right? So far, let me go through the first 7 if you've just joined. And number 1 was too much time on worrying. Number 2 is not showing the real feelings to the people that you love. Number 3 is caring too much about what people think. Number 4 is not allowing and not following your passion. Number 5 is not fully living in the present. Number 6 is not traveling enough. Number 7 is not daring to take risks. So if you don't take risks now, you'll be forced to take risks when you're older. So the last one, the last biggest regret that most people face on this planet is, wait for it, spending too little quality time with your loved ones. Spending too little quality time with your loved ones. Like right now, I know most of you should be spending more time with your parents, right? Again, I'm guilty of this. I'm so busy doing things, flying here, there, everywhere, following my mission. But we must always make time to spend time with our loved ones. I'm talking about quality time. I'm not talking about going and seeing your parents and then you're there watching TV, you're watching TV. And that's why every year I insist on taking my parents, you know, traveling around the world at least 2 or 3 times a year. Right? Just so we can spend that quality time together, because you never know when you're going to get the opportunity to do that. And it's really, really important that, again, you understand at a very deep level that that's the connection, that the quality of your life is in direct proportion to the quality of the relationships that you build with the people that are around you. And they say that, you know, your best friends, like your best friends, when you go through life, can really come up with more than, you know, you count them on 2 hands. You know, these are the people you want to spend most time with. Because again, what happens is when you spend quality time with the people you love, you have this warm feeling inside and it's a real connection. You know, and that's what you want to do before, you know, a lot of you watching this, if your parents are in their 50s, 60s, 70s, even 80s, you know, I would definitely spend more time with them. And, you know, because again, last thing you want to do, I've seen so many people say, oh, I wish I could have spent more time with this person. Now the person's gone, right? So one little tip for you is this. I want you to think about 1 or 2 people who you need to see, who you've been putting off seeing over and over and over again. And what I want you to do, I want you to take out your phone, right? And I want you to schedule a time to see this person. Schedule the time to see the person. I don't care how busy you are. I'm very busy, right? And I know a lot of you watching, you must be very, very busy as well. But I want you to take out your calendar and just schedule that thing in now. Send this person a text saying, hey, on the 24th of whatever date it is, we are meeting for dinner. I'm not taking no for an answer. And then, you know, just spend some quality time. And, you know, if you're a parent, you know, you want to spend more time with your daughter, with your sons. You know, really have that connection time. Not just sitting around a table, someone's watching TV, someone's on their phone. You know, I was in the Singapore Airlines lounge about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I saw a whole family, right? Mother, daughter, and father and the kids just all sat around the lounge. Every single one of them was on the phone. Again, I'm guilty of this as well, but we must be conscious of when this happens. So you got to set some rules. Like if you're ever going to go on a family holiday or do something, you got to say, right, okay, no phones, right? Or if it's today we're going to do something, okay, no phones. Or maybe just one person take a phone with you so you can take pictures or whatever, right? So I just, I thought it'd be pretty important because I made this post on my Facebook wall, and a lot of you liked it and shared it, and thank you for sharing this stuff. But I guess I wanted to kind of go into it in a little bit more detail and give you a lot more meat. By the way, if you've enjoyed this, by the way, give me some love hearts and type in yes. And by the way, if you guys got any questions, a lot of you meet me at events, and we don't always get a chance to meet face to face because I'm either backstage or I'm preparing for the next session. And you're like, John, can I take a picture? I've got a question I want to ask you. So, this is an opportunity for you to ask me any questions. If you've got any questions at all, any questions about life, relationships, motivation, inspiration, business, entrepreneurship, relationships. I always, this, the Wealth Dragon Way, there's a message that I have in here, and that is that there are two types of wealth in our life. The first type of wealth is a wealth called moral wealth. And moral wealth is we have to, if we are able to go out and exert as much wealth as possible. And when I say wealth, I don't mean like making lots of money, right? I'm talking about wealth in health, wealth in relationships, wealth in our happiness. In fact, I'm actually running an event. A lot of you, Kaylee says you're coming on the 25th. I'm actually running an event. I'm bringing 6 speakers down for me who have all created wealth in all areas of their life. And I do this event as a way of giving back to really help people and really add value to people's lives. And I would love to invite you. If you guys would like a ticket to this, give me just type in 1 below. Just type in 1 and hit enter, right? And then once you've done that, around this page, I think on the top of my page near my cover picture, there's a button that says book now. So if you click that button, if there's any complimentary tickets left, because we only have limited tickets, that's why people on my Facebook page can see this first, right? Just click that button, and then we'll give you a ticket to an event called the Lifestyle Business Convention, where we're talking about creating this lifestyle, not having any regrets. Because I know a lot of you have so many great aspirations and dreams and things that you've wanted to do, but you've just maybe not been able to get there. And the last thing you want to do is to regret not doing something that you could have done, right? So I just wanted to just share these with you. And again, if you'd like a ticket to that, then just go to the top where my page is, right? Sorry, my Facebook page, which is John Lee. Facebook.com/John Lee Public, or in the Facebook search bar you can type in @John Lee Public. But if you're already watching this on the page, then once we finish this, around my page at the top there's going to be a button that says book now. So just click that button, and then I'm going to give you a complimentary ticket, and you're going to come along as my guest. And I want to share with you life lessons. I've been doing business and entrepreneurship for 10 years, and one of the things that I believe, I don't know if you believe this, but I believe that creates massive success in business is not just the intelligence, it's not just the strategies, it's not just the how to. I believe a lot of it's to do with emotion. I believe a lot of it is to do with ourselves. And I believe a lot of it is to do with our upbringing and our belief systems on how we actually do something. Would you agree with that? Yes or no? If you agree, type in yes. Right, so again, I hope you found this useful. I know it's a little bit late than usual. I know it's been a while since I did a Facebook Live, but I've been super busy. But I just thought when I saw this, I thought, wow, this is going to add so much value to a lot of you, because I know a lot of you have been through some of these challenges, and I hope and I pray that this session with you tonight has made some impact in your life. And I would love to. Oh, someone's got some questions. Hold on a second. If you have questions other than today, is it possible to ask you? Yeah, I mean, if you've got any questions, just come back to this Facebook Live, and then just type the question in, and then either myself or one of my team will pick it up. Right? So, yeah, I can't see any questions here so far. That's fine. I like your Facebook Live. I like being in the conference. It's like being in the conference. Thank you. I just got that book. Excellent. Armin says motivation is short-term. Agree. It's about knowing one's purpose and working towards it. Absolutely. It's finding your purpose. Like if I ask you right now, what is your purpose, Armin? What is your purpose in life? Right? Buy a house, don't know where to go. Have a good deal. Yeah, if you want to buy good houses, there's 3 things. In fact, you should get this book. This is a really good book. It's written by, can you see? This is the author's name here. Oh, there we go. Vincent Wong. So for those of you who know, this book's called Property Entrepreneur. It's a really good book. Talks about how to find property deals. I would highly recommend that you read that book. It's amazing. Any other questions you guys got? Yes, want to travel. Wish you my command. Oh, okay, brilliant. Not a problem. All right, well, listen, guys, thank you so much. You guys have stayed on right to the end, and I really appreciate that. Listen, I'll try and do more Facebook Live. If I could do more Facebook Lives, would you guys want me to do more Facebook Lives? If you would like me to do more Facebook Lives, give me some thumbs and type in live, L-I-V-E. And if there's enough lives, then what I'll do is I'll try and do this more on a regular basis, just so a lot of you get a chance to you know, really ask me some questions, interact, and for me to cover some of the lessons that I've really learned to you know, help you guys do this. So again, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. It's, you know, almost 10 o'clock at night now, and I appreciate your time and I appreciate your commitment to do this. So thank you so much. This is John Lee, the author of The Wealth Dragon Way. Until then, make a fortune and make a difference. I'll see you soon. Bye.